Let's do it, Dean.
Chop, chop. And my great white.
Dude, that's sweet.
Pretty cool, huh?
Okay.
Got the barracuda on this arm. I'm sorry, I had to sell my tooth. That wasn't Josh's. That belonged to me now. And I also had to sell a Peruvian Meg that took me 2 years to get. I had to sell it. I had to pay. I had my daughter for the summer. I didn't have any work. My bills are $3,300 a month. So I had to sell not just his tooth, but I don't have. The only 6-inch Meg I got now is the one I found diving. I had to sell my whole collection. They were like, basically, to me, trying to hustle me. You try to hustle me. You know, I gave you $2,000 for that tooth. One single shark's tooth, $35,000. There's drama on land. There's drama on the water. You know, unfortunately, you have people have to make a living no matter what they do.
From that moment, I knew that this was just going to be downhill, just fall into love, like, from there. Because I had never found a girl that was going to love fossils as much as I do. I never thought I would, at least. So the whole weekend that I got to Charleston, we did nothing but fossil hunt. I took her to all my favorite sites. I showed her around places that she didn't know, and she showed me places that I didn't know. I'm doing it for 6 years.
And I have been fossil hunting
But you
for my entire life.
You didn't dig out your first skull until you met me. But I love you.
Hunting. I'm not going to say where we were, but it was amazing. What we found was a block of material that we knew to be whale that unprepped would have gone for about 8 to 10K. The most we ever received for one specific fossil was $20,000, and it was for the Doradon atrox specimen that I located, we recovered, and then I prepped, and then we sold.
No. The most money I ever made off a shark tooth was a Megalodon. It was a 6.02-inch orange crush shite, beautiful, fully intact, fully serrated, only a teeny bit of feeding wear on the tip. Sold it for $2,000.
Thank you. Here you go, big party.
You are so sexy.
Whatever.
You are.
Really like that. So what fish do we know has weird long things on their face that look like that?
My first find, we had a fence built, and as fence builders do, they use post hole diggers and they dig in the ground, and like they found shark's teeth in our backyard and they left it on like the table, and my mom was like, "What is this?" And I'm like a 10-year-old, and I was like, those look like shark's teeth, Mom. And then the fence builders were like, "Oh yeah, that's like a thing here."
Dude, I'm more scared of the other people than I am of what I'm gonna find in the ground. You know, it's just, it can be so heated, and like in the beginning, like, you know, I would say being a woman, you get a lot of different heat.
No! Oh, you know that mastodon I was just telling you about?
Finding just about anything that I haven't found yet is cool. Like, there's so many neat things that have lived and died that I have the chance to find, and that in itself is cool.
There is no shortage of fossils in this area. Like, people who get so bent out of shape, like, that's my land, or that's my fossil hunting spot, or that's my creek. Well, I've been hunting this creek for 20 years. That's my fossil tooth. And it's like, dude, they're the most abundant fossil in the vertebrate fossil record. Chill.
Well, to tell the whole story, I used to run trout lines along a creek over in North Charleston. And at the time, they were putting in a big pipeline that ran back of my house. Well, one afternoon while out checking my trout lines, I was walking past a pile of dirt and looked, and it was something shiny, kind of caught my attention. So I walked over and picked it up, and it happened to be a Megalodon. That would be it. So that sparked my interest. From that day on, after school, pretty much I spent all of my time hunting those dirt mounds. There's a lot in the ground. There's a lot of rich fossils in the ground here. It's one of the best fossil beds in the world, right here in the lower part of South Carolina. It's quite common. Most of the fossils are lost. So I've always tried to stay ahead of the game and get in early when they're first starting construction and talk with somebody and able to get permission to be on the site. And you have to follow it at that point because, like I said, you know, the construction workers are moving fast. They've got a timeline, and so you have to stay ahead of them. You have to be able to go in, remove a fossil in a matter of hours. You get what you can and get out. It's an addiction. Fossil hunting and finding these things it's like treasure hunting. Now, that tooth right there made me about 2 weeks' pay.
And gotta kiss that thing. Oh, honey, how sweet it is.
We met by digging in the same sites. They were sites that were not heavily hunted by a lot of people. There were very few people that knew about the locations that we were hunting. And we just always kind of passed by each other and didn't really speak. And then it led to hellos. And from there, we kind of decided we would hunt together one time, and one time hasn't really stopped yet.
See a woman dig dirt with a shovel and a tank top and shorts, and it was amazing. This is a 6.45 inch megalodon. This shark would have been roughly 57 to 60 feet long.
Matt actually found the tooth, and I had been mad at Matt because every time we do hunt, if he is not the first one to find a tooth, then he is a little bit bitter, and he doesn't want to come and see what I have found if I tell him I have found something. He'll just say, okay, good job. So I was trying to teach him a lesson to see, so he knew how it felt, and when he found that tooth and I heard him saying, oh my God, and I did not run over to the tooth immediately. And he went on about, oh my gosh. So then I went over and looked, and it was massive. It's been really wild to watch this tooth travel to nationwide news. After the tooth was found, we didn't really tell anybody about it except our close friends and family. We didn't post it for a little while, and once it's been shared on the internet, it's just gone wild, and it's just making its way around the world, it seems. A few weeks later, I found
In the hole.
I found my first tiny shark's tooth in Summerville, South Carolina, and I was completely hooked from that point on. My best find fossil hunting outside of some incredibly large shark's teeth would have been an Archaeocete whale skull. That piece wound up selling for about $40,000 and is currently in a museum. The people who make a living and are out there on a daily basis hunting these fossils, for the most part, if they weren't doing it, these fossils would be lost or these fossils will be destroyed. In South Carolina, being here in this fossil layer that we are, you're likely to find something if you put yourself in the right place consistently. You're going to find something, you're going to hold something that hasn't seen the light of day in millions of years. Fossil hunting, it puts you outside, it puts you in the air, it puts you in the earth, it puts you in the mud, it puts you in the water, the elements. You have the sun beating down, you're going to have the rain, you're going to have the vultures flying ahead. It makes you feel human again. The more you look, the better you become at seeking, the greater chances that you find something rare or something really special. You can expect an extraordinary surprise. What do we have here?
we're out in, well, we're somewhere in South Carolina. Taylor, I'm an expert in clam etchings. we die out here. It's 100 degrees. How far would you make it, huh? Yeah, so I certainly have some spots that I don't like to tell people about, unless they're really close and say somebody's shared their spots with me and I trust them. I'll certainly will. You know, there's just like I said again, just like fishing. If it's a good spot and you're catching fish, then you're probably not going to be too eager to tell anybody about it. If I lost it, I'll cry. Found a deer tooth from the Ice Age, kind of mixed in with all this stuff, and it was pretty spectacular. Couldn't stop looking for him.
I'm even worse. I'm from Buckhead. It's even snottier.
Well, I got involved in the fossil hunting business, and quite frankly, I'd rather invest my money in something worthwhile than another sports car or another case of wine or you name it. It's just like when I was little and my mom couldn't keep me in front of the TV. I was always in the creek looking for new things, salamanders, anything. And it's the same thing, except on a whole nother level. It's the thrill of discovery, pulling something out of the ground that's millions of years old, and it's exciting. You know, I couldn't believe that we were finding teeth so far inland from the beach. We went out my first time, and we're down by a swamp. We're digging in the side of a creek, you know, in the middle of the country, and we're pulling out these teeth. It just didn't make any sense to me at first. Until it was properly explained that we're digging to the phosphate layer and that all of that was underwater millions of years ago. So it's absolutely hilarious to watch how competitive the fossil hunters are with each other. Who finds the biggest tooth? Who finds the first tooth? Who has the best hole they've dug? Even with married couples, they're incredibly competitive. They get jealous of each other. You can see the look on their face. What did you find? Where did you find that? You know?